Hello and welcome back to Sakura Angels. So, who do we pass this note to, do we think? Left or back, left or back. Okay, let's pass it to the side, it's easier. Right. It's easier to pass her the note without looking too suspicious since she's to my side. Keeping my eyes forward, I casually lean out and slide the note onto her desk. Just narrowly avoiding the teacher's ever-vigilant gaze as I do. His eyes sweep over the class like a searchlight. Phew. I'm hopeful this might actually work, as I watch Hikari from the corner of my eye. She gives me a sidelong glance, picking up the note with 2 fingers, as if it were contaminated. She brings it up to her face, scans it over once, and then crumples it with a sneer, tossing it back my way before focusing on the lesson. Harsh. Well, that was a failure. And I feel like the teacher is keeping a closer eye on me than he did before, so probably can't get away with passing another note to Sayaka instead. Feeling a little hurt from my crushing rejection, I slump forward, keeping my head propped up lazily with a hand. If she's going to be like that, I suppose I should try and piece things together as best I can until I get a chance to talk to them properly. Let's see. They said they were my guardian angels before, right? That attack from before must have spooked them to the point where they feel that watching over me from afar just won't cut it anymore. Well, that's as good a conclusion as I can come with on my own, anyway. Since the Ice Queen over there refused to even throw me a scrap of information. First lesson of the day goes on at an agonizingly slow pace. I can't focus on a thing no matter how hard I try. After what seems like an eternity, the bell finally rings, announcing the end of the lesson. There's still another lesson to go before break time though, and this makes it impossible to talk with the girls, especially since the next lesson is PE, where the boys and girls are separated. Ugh, why is life so complicated? After reluctantly getting changed for PE, I'm soon in the schoolyard with the male half of our class. Much like the first lesson, I find it hard to pay attention to the PE teacher as he goes through the basic warm-up exercises. I follow the exercises just about, with about as much enthusiasm as a zombie. The rest of the lesson is sort of a blur, at least until some of the male students start to look towards the track field where the girls are. They're staring in amazement, some even rubbing their eyes as if it can't be real. What's so amazing? What are you guys all looking at? I muscle into the crowd that's formed so I can actually get a good look at the field. No way. The girls are running on the track, which isn't exactly amazing in and itself, but it's who's running on the track that makes it such an unreal sight. Sayaka is blazing across the track, practically a blur as she leaves the others in the dust. She's literally running circles around them. She doesn't look tired or exhausted at all either, save for the bead of sweat creeping up. In fact, she has a big smile on her face, clearly enjoying it all. As if it wasn't obvious before, these girls are on a completely different level. I'm sure she's breaking several kinds of records right there. The other girls in the group helplessly trail behind her, their expressions ranging from sheer confusion to envy. Some of the girls are, well, I guess were now, the top of their class when it came to track too, but just making them all look like snails in comparison. I can't imagine how this would feel to be showed up by someone who hasn't been here a day. I can hardly keep my eyes on her. She seems to just get a little faster with each loop she makes around the track. Won't be long now before she just becomes a big blur encircling the place. Is she even human? I'm seriously beginning to doubt it here with this superhuman display. I think even the top athletes in the country don't compare to her. While Sayaka is hogging the spotlight here, there's something missing in all of this. Her far grumpier counterpart, Hikari. If anything, shouldn't she be neck and neck with Sayaka? I scan the trailing behind, but I can't find her either. Just where... oh. Behind even the other girls, being left in Sayaka's dust, I see someone dragging her feet, a sour expression on their face. She's just walking, her arms folded like usual. I wonder if her arms are glued like that. She isn't even trying. She must really not have wanted to enroll here. Must have been Sayaka's idea entirely. What are you all staring at? Come on, let's get back to it! Apparently all forgetting we had our own lesson at hand, the teacher calls us back to reality, forcing us reluctantly to stop gawking at the girls. The rest of the PE lesson goes by without anything much note happening, and then finally the lunch break arrives. I spot the magic girls in the classroom, casually chatting away with some of the other students. I didn't think they'd be able to make friends already. Though after Sayaka's little display earlier, she's probably the talk of the class.
Oh, Kenta! Hi there!
She gives me a wave and a cheery smile, but I can hardly say I do the same. Oh, yeah, hi. Look, can we talk?
Hmm? Oh, go for it!
No, not here, I mean, can we talk somewhere in private? Crap. That might have come out weird. I'm getting weird looks from everyone in the class, a few of them breaking into whispers and giggles. Even Sayaka is feigning surprise, despite knowing full well what I mean.
Oh my, this is a bit sudden. I don't know what to say.
Come on, stop messing around. I've been dying to talk to both of you since this morning. Oh god. I made it worse, didn't I? I somehow turned this into looking more like the most awkward confessions ever.
You're always this forward with girls you just met?
She giggles, going along with the continued painful stares from the class. Well, she's going to be like this. I guess I have no choice. This is going to make me look even worse in front of the class, but I need answers. I take a deep breath and steel myself. And then...
Hey! Whoa, whoa, whoa! What are you doing?
I grab her waist, pulling her down along toward the classroom door, whether she likes it or not. Given what I've witnessed before, I'm sure she could have had me flat on the floor if she was actually opposed to this. I think she's just messing around at this point, though. Hey, you two, come with me.
Huh?
Who said you could touch me? With my free hand, I take hold of Hikari's wrist, no doubt cementing myself some sort of deviant with my class. Thankfully, they both follow along without too much resistance. Ignoring the brunt of Hikari's verbal abuse, I continue on to the doorway. I just had to find somewhere quiet where no one will hear us discuss this magic and monster business. The question is... Oof!
What the hell is with the school uniforms in this place? Jesus Christ.
In all my haste to escape the classroom with both girls in tow, I crash into someone who was already making their way through the door. She stumbles backwards, looking slightly dazed. Thankfully, she doesn't look hurt. Ah! Are you okay? Sorry about that. I offer an apologetic smile.
Who is she again?
She must be from my class. I can't recall her name at all, though. It's fine. She speaks in a cold tone, her equally cold eyes locked onto my own, and an intense stare that completely betrays her words. Yikes. I guess she has a reason to be annoyed given my clumsiness, but this is a look of pure hate. Okay then? Confirming she's okay, I continue on with Hikari and Sayaka. They're protesting, mostly from Hikari's side, increasing in volume. I can't even begin to imagine what this must look like for people passing by. I'm sure even as I head for the stairs that girl is still staring at me. Did I do something to annoy her? I mean, besides the clumsiness from today, of course. Oh, I can't worry about her for now. I have bigger problems to worry about. Namely, two big problems, one in each hand of mine. Emerging onto the roof, I'm thankful to see that it's devoid of light. Safely walled by tall mesh fences, the roof is technically a spot students can spend their break at, but it really isn't that popular. Works for me. Okay, now can you guys explain this whole mess? I release both of their wrists simultaneously. Sayaka bounces happily, completely emboldened, while Hikari, on the other hand, rubs her wrist as if I had assaulted her. Next time, how about you ask before you go grabbing someone like that? You're lucky we were in a public place or I'd have sliced you in two.
Oh, this is exciting. Oh, this is going to be one of those confessions I've heard so much about.
Yeah? Confession?
To who? Both of us?
What the heck are they even... I shake my head. This isn't a confession. Look, you know full well what this is about. I can feel my face burning up. It really is exhausting dealing with them. Sayaka gives me a teasing smile before bursting into a giggle. Apparently, this is the funniest thing in the world to her.
I know. You want an actual explanation for all this, don't you? Oh, I just couldn't help myself.
Thank you. I let out a sigh, my shoulders drooping. Finally. Finally.
So what did you want to know about first?
Look, who exactly are you? Okay, this should be an obvious one to ask. I asked before, but I only got the vague answer of them being my supposed guardian angels. I hope she feels more generous right now, though.
Well, I'm Sayaka, and this is Hikari. Did you forget our names already, silly?
Am might actually rip my hair out here. I open my mouth once more to say she knows damn well that's not what I mean, but it seems she's way ahead of me. In all seriousness, I'm not really sure how much I'm allowed to say. We're already bending the rules as it is, with showing ourselves to you. I mean, really, this whole thing's a complete disaster. Why did you have to cause us so many problems? Hey, it's not my fault, I think. Just be thankful you're important to me, or we would have left you to get eaten by that thing. Huh? The realization of what she just said slowly dawns on her. It was quite fun to watch the usual grumpy face gradually go red before she stomps into a fluster. I mean important to us! Us! Smooth. Sayaka giggles and gives her a playful punch on the shoulder. Huh. Ah! Kara responds in kind by giving a wallop to the shoulder. Nothing playful about it. Are these two even partners? Anyway, I try my best to keep things on track, but I'm sure it won't be long before it devolves into violence again. I think the most we could tell you is... well, we're not from around here. Rather, we were sent here specifically to ensure your safety. Do you belong to some sort of group? Wait, are there more of you with these weird powers? I think I might have said too much already. She rubs at the back of her head with a grin, pretty much says, whoops. I probably won't be able to get any more out of her on this subject. Not for today, at least. Maybe if I catch her off guard another day, she might let more slip. So, is there anything else you wanted to know? Alright, what the hell was that thing? I want to know more about what the heck that thing was that saved me from earlier. That shadow, I think she called it? I'm guessing there are more of those things lurking out there. Hmm? And they're after me? Well, in this particular case they are. Though, usually they're not so aggressive. But they've always been around, lurking in the shadows. It's really weird. I've never seen one so brave as to attack someone in broad daylight. It was like something had got it really riled up. Or maybe... She falls in thought, leaving Hikari and I to stand awkwardly, exchanging even more awkward glances. Sayaka? She snaps out of her stupor, blinking back to reality. Huh? Oh, sorry. Don't worry, it's nothing. What the heck did I do to annoy these monsters anyway? Oh, it's not what you said, it's because of who you are. Who I am? Yeah, your blood. Sayaka! Ah! Okay. Sorry. Sayaka is cut off by a near-piercing cry from Hikari. Ow! I guess I'll never know now. Hikari seems adamant about keeping this a secret. He doesn't need to know any of that. It's better this way. We'll sort out the problem at hand and then we can finally leave this horrible school. Oh, you're not fun. You are right, though. Sorry, kid. Sorry, Kenta. She gives me an apologetic look. She really sounds sincere, too. Like she's practically bursting to tell me, but just can't. No, he's pressing it, I suppose. Maybe one day. Was there anything else you wanted to know? How long are you going to stay? This is an important one. Just exactly how long do they plan on staying here to watch over me? Sayaka pulls a frown at my question, a genuinely sad looking that tugs at my heartstrings. Is it really that bad? It's almost like you don't want us around. Are we that much of a nuisance? Damn it. Why does she have to phrase it like that? It's clearly not what I meant, I think. It's just... As long as they're here, I'm sure there's going to be nothing but trouble in my life. Oh, come on, I didn't mean it like... She suddenly bursts into a bright, beaming smile again, almost blinding me. I know! You're just so easy to mess with. I couldn't help myself. This girl... She breaks into a laugh. One I'm sure that can be heard by the entire school, even from all the way up here. It won't be long, I promise. Just until we've sorted things out. I guess you can't tell me what needs to be sorted out? She puts a finger to her nose and winks. I thought so. No secret and all that. Oh, we're in the process of figuring this whole mess out. Shouldn't take long. Maybe a couple of days. A week at most. A week? If it was up to me, we'd be gone by tomorrow. I hate this place. It's so noisy. Well, if somebody was more useful and helped me instead of just complaining all the time, I might get things done quicker. Well, she said that without a smile flattering one bit. Just a tone being cheery in spite of all the words. That's kind of scary. Even Hikari has no argument against that. Those words cause her to get a full silence as she shrinks back into her deceptively bright partner. Moving on. So, was there anything else you wanted to know? No, that's all for now. I guess that's all we have time for now. I think the bell for the second half is about to... Yep. There it is.
Oh? It's time to get back now, is it?
She stretches her arms into the air, giving a small yawn.
Well, I hope we were able to clear things up a little.
Something like that.
Come on, we don't want to be late.
Sakura bounds for the stairs as if she was in some sort of race. A partner trailing behind her, she gives me one last look. She stops, her eyes cast downward for a moment before flicking back up. Hey, what's up? Nothing. It's nothing. I like that. She disappears down the stairs too, leaving me alone on the roof. Huh. I wonder what that was about. I guess I should follow after them. I don't want to be late again. As I start for the stairs, my stomach makes a terrifying sound. One that screams for food. Oh, right. Not my haste to figure out what the girls were doing and I get any lunch at all. Oh, come on. It's easy for a human being to go without lunch. And so, classes resume. After all the initial excitement in the morning, not a lot happens throughout the remaining lessons. They drag on at a glacial pace, somehow even more dull than usual. It's also hard to keep my mind focused on anything with Sakura and Hikari on each side. There to protect me. I was half expecting a monster to just burst its way through the window and for the whole place to turn into a battleground, but no. It might at least have made things more lively. With one final ring of the bell, school comes to a close and a hazy amber glow taking over the classroom as the sun begins to set. The majority of the students begin to filter out of the class to start their clubs or their part-time jobs. Not me though, I'm off home. While joining a club is certainly encouraged, thankfully it is a place where it's enforced, meaning I am free to loaf all I want. Might make me come across as a bit of a slacker in the eyes of the other students, but yeah, they're not exactly wrong. Wasting no time, I set out of the school and begin to head home. Something that should have been fairly stress-free, but... I mean, I should have expected this, but it's still a bit much. The horizon grows darker with each step I make through the quiet streets, a pale moon slowly making its presence known in the sky. Thud, thud, thud. My heavy steps resound down the narrow road, quickly swallowed into the night. There's another set of steps, or rather, two sets of steps that sound to either side of me? Far lighter steps with far more grace than I could ever hope to achieve. Look, I know you're here to protect me, but do you really need to be so... close? Yes. Those steps belong to none other than my self-professed guardian angels. Sayaka to my left, Hikari to my right, practically walking in unison with me, their shoulders inches away from mine. Don't be stupid. Walking home alone at night would be the perfect time for the enemy to strike. This is why we have to stay on our guard the most. Yikes. She doesn't have to yell so loud right in my ear like that. I think I must be just a little bit deafer from spending time with her today alone. Do you think I like having to be this close to you? You should be grateful I'm doing this at all. Another hump and a turn of her head, her vibrant hair swaying gently. Right. Sorry.
Oh, don't be like that, Hikari. Don't think I didn't catch you sneaking glances at his face while he's looking elsewhere.
As she walks, Sayaka leans across me to smirk at Hikari. This is getting really awkward, guys. Yeah? You saw... I mean, I was just checking the enemy hadn't landed a stealth attack on him.
Sure, whatever you say.
My left ear is rocked by a mischievous giggle. Sayaka breaks into hysterics. All the while, Hikari's face begins to turn an interesting shade of red. Anyway, you're the one who keeps pressing his shoulder up against him. What are you trying to do? Huh? She was doing that? Well, she mentions it. The left side did look
cozier for a time. I was just trying to keep him warm. See, I care for his well-being and I don't want him to catch a cold. And he's not complaining, so he must like it. Without warning, she latches onto my arm, pulling herself in, almost sending me toppling to the ground. See? Hey, now, this is... What are you doing? You're gonna tear his arm off. You just have to do it more gently, like this. Huh? Hikari latches onto my other arm, hooking it with hers in an attempt to tug me away from Sayaka. What the heck did this just turn into? You don't really need to, No. No, that isn't how you do it at all, Hikari. It's more like... Sayaka pulls back on my arm, and soon they both have a firm grip on each of my arms, determination spreading across their faces, so I become some sort of human rope. What is this, a tug of war? They're gonna rip me apart. Ha! Please. This is how it's done. Do they even remember what they were trying to do? What started out innocently enough, now spurred into some sort of contest between them. And they are really Ow! Okay, now it's starting to think about stuff like that. Could you please get off of me? Raising my voice more than I've ever done in a while, I explode, my body at stake here. And like that, they both let go of my arms at once, leaving me free to ensure that they're both still fully intact. I'm glad they listened to reason. I really thought I was going to die there. Apparently, it's not the monsters I have to worry about anymore, it's these two. Girls? At least I thought it had been my desperate cry that had gotten them through to them, but they seemed completely transfixed by something up above. What are they looking at? I squint my eyes and gaze high above the rooftops. And then, as the clouds part and the pale moonlight shines down, I see her. A girl sits on the ledge at the highest point of one of the tallest buildings in the area. Silvery hair that seems to glimmer in the moonlight, and an outfit as dark as the night sky, which gives it an awe-inspiring look that's almost angelic. Like she's some sort of angel, gazing down from the heavens. At least I would call her an angel. It wasn't for that unsettling grin that just now spreads across her face at the sight of us. Ah, there you are. She murmurs something to herself that I can't make out from all that distance between us. Whatever it was she said, it's enough to make her shoulders shake with laughter. I can't help but feel I've seen her somewhere before. It's the girl you ran into in the corridor, moron! I wonder why that is. No matter how hard I try to think back, I can't recall her face at all though. It's blatantly the girl from the corridor! God, why are people in these kinds of stories always morons? And a burst of feathers, obsidian wings unfurl from behind her. Now those definitely aren't holy. I've got a bad feeling about this. Amber eyes peer down at the three of us, narrowed in determination, as the same unsettling grin remains. It might just be my imagination, but I think she's looking at me specifically. I can almost feel her stare. It's enough to send a chill down my spine, it sparks a faint pulse at the back of my skull. A friend of yours? I force out a laugh, but I know the truth. The air is growing tense like that time with the monster before, and the looks on both Hikari and Sayaka's faces can only suggest something bad's about to go down. Ha! Afraid not. Kenta, get back. I don't like this at all. But, okay. I do as I'm told and retreat back a good distance, not really wanting to argue when they look as scary as they do. So what do you think we're dealing with here? She seems far too human to be a shadow, and I get the same feeling of dread from her presence. Ah, gotcha. I think. So wait, is she a monster or not? That's what I'm trying to figure out. If you would stop yelling in my ear for 1 second and let me concentrate. I'm not yelling. Sheesh. Right. I forgot. It's got default volume. Well then, let's just be quiet and let me think things over. You're so cruel sometimes, Hikari. The silver-haired girl, still high atop the roof, gives me one last look before turning her gaze to the girls. And then she jumps. What? Why did she jump? I could barely watch. She plummets downwards towards where my guardians had stood, no hint of even beginning to slow down. Those wings just for show? Faster and faster she descends before finally the pavement closes in. I don't want to watch, but
Somehow I get the feeling she wouldn't have jumped without a good reason. At least I hope she didn't. Mere inches from smashing into the ground, her wings spread wide as it breaks before bringing her to a sudden stop. Not even a gradual halt. She comes to a complete grinding halt as if the laws of gravity just don't apply to her. Even with wings, something like that shouldn't be possible. I mean, if a pigeon were to attempt something like that, it'd barely be recognisable on the pavement right now. In fact, her feet aren't even touching the ground. She hovers above ever so slightly before stepping onto the solid surface, as if stepping off an invisible platform. Part of me is relieved that she isn't hurt from that little stunt. But then, part of me is also terrified as to what might happen next. The silver-haired girl stands before Hikari and Sayaka, her expression still as unsettling as ever. Despite her smile, though, there's nothing in the posture that would suggest she has any bad intentions. The other two girls are tense. My head rings just trying to focus on her, like that monster from before. Is she related to them? I clutch her hand to my head and try to steady myself. It's taking all of my willpower just to keep upright at the moment. Good evening, girls. She greets them so casually, despite the intense glares directed her way. Somehow, I get the feeling that she didn't leap off a freaking rooftop just to exchange pleasantries. Let's cut to the chase, shall we? Who are you? What do you want? Oh my, you're a hostile bunch, aren't you? She lets out a devious giggle, doing little to ease the tension in the air. Oh, very well. You may call me Yuzuki. As for what I'm after, well... Her eyes flit from the girls, settle straight onto me, a smile enough to send a chill down my spine. I'll be taking the boy if you don't mind, seeing he's very important to me. I knew it. Of course she would be linked to this whole mess. Why wouldn't she be? Today is the day when everything apparently wants me dead. Sayaka and Hikari refuse to comply. Of course they wouldn't. They wouldn't be very good guardian angels if they just stepped aside for this maniacal girl. No? I suppose we shall have to do things the hard way. The pair stand tall before me, their fists tightened. I think there's only one way this is going to end up. The air around them seems to crackle, the amount of power contained within them all immense. I'm afraid I can't even take in a breath in case I set something off. This is dangerous. Even I can see that. I blink and... Yuzuki lunges for them in a flash, with a side seemingly torn from the air itself. Why? Sparks fly from the collision of metal against metal. Hikari was just barely able to react in time, changing her outfit in a flash and blocking a blow with her sword. If she'd been any slower, they might not have had their heads still. I knew it! You're just a puppet for her! She speaks through gritted teeth, pushing with all her might to try and keep the side at bay as it draws ever closer. It seems like a fight she might lose, though, as the silver-haired girl presses on without even so much as a bead of sweat on her brow. Sayaka! Feel free to help! Anytime! Huh? Oh, right! Losing ground quite rapidly, her feet begin to slide back from the force. Hikari barks at her partner, who had just about recovered from the shock of the strike. They really are in trouble here. And all I can do is stand gawping. I know for sure if I go anywhere near them, I'll be torn apart. This is a fight on a completely different level for me. There's another blinding flash as Sayaka transforms herself, wielding the same bow I had seen her use this morning. She dashes back a little from the clashing girls and prepares her bow, pulling back on the string. I was about to wonder just where the arrow was, but one seems to blink into reality, already fully knocked onto the bow. She lets the magical arrow fly, her target obvious. Caught up in the clash, Yuzuki has no choice but to pull away from Hikari. She kicks back gracefully, the arrow just inches away from grazing her cheek. About time! Hikari heaves a heavy sigh of relief as she eases her shoulders, finally able to rest, if only for a moment. The fight is clearly far from over. The girls regroup and ready themselves, their mysterious opponent now going over them with their unsettled, cold eyes. Be careful, Sayaka. She's strong. I was just barely able to hold her back. Sayaka nods, a look of determination painted in her face. I wasn't even aware she was capable of. That's determination, is it? Okay. Taking a moment to analyse the situation, the dark girl closes in again for a second round. Right, looking at my timer, that's a pretty decent point to end this video and say thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next part.